What if Helmut Marko's recent comments about Lewis Hamilton being desperate at Ferrari completely missed the bigger picture? While the Red Bull advisor claims Hamilton is merely holding out for 2026, there's a strategic masterclass happening that everyone's overlooking. The real question isn't whether Hamilton is struggling, it's whether he's laying the groundwork for something extraordinary. You're watching F1 Prime News, where we analyze what others ignore. Today, we're revealing the truth behind Hamilton's Ferrari journey that Helmut Marko and traditional media completely misunderstand. As we approach the Miami Grand Prix this weekend, the paddock is ablaze with discussion following Helmut Marko's latest controversial remarks. The Red Bull advisor recently told F1Insider.com that Hamilton seems desperate at Ferrari and is merely waiting for the 2026 car, hoping for a jackpot that suits his driving style. But what if this narrative fundamentally misunderstands Hamilton's approach? The journey is never linear. Progress comes from understanding, not forcing results, Lewis told journalists during Thursday's press conference in China. This isn't just media training, it's the philosophy that's defined Hamilton's entire career. What nobody's talking about is the methodical approach Hamilton has always taken to new environments. His early Mercedes struggles were similarly scrutinized before he transformed the team into the most dominant force in F1 history. The SF25 demands a fundamentally different approach to corner entry than the Mercedes Hamilton mastered over 8 seasons. This isn't about inability to adapt, it's about recalibrating muscle memory developed through more than 300 Grands Prix with a completely different philosophy. During testing and the first 4 races, Hamilton's telemetry shows remarkable progress in specific technical areas. While media highlights the qualifying gaps Marko referenced from Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, they ignore the substantial progress made in Melbourne and Shanghai. The Ferrari requires a unique rotation technique that contradicts the precise front-end control Hamilton perfected at Mercedes. What looks like struggling to Marko is actually Hamilton systematically rebuilding his approach piece by piece, not for quick fixes, but for sustainable performance. Fred Vasseur's unwavering support directly contradicts Marko's narrative. "I will be 2000% behind him," Vasseur emphatically stated after Saudi Arabia. He specifically highlighted Hamilton's performance in China and Bahrain's race pace as evidence that the potential is there for sure. What's particularly telling is Leclerc's body language around Hamilton in the garage. There's collaborative energy, not the tension you'd expect if Hamilton were truly desperate. After qualifying in China, cameras caught Charles studying Lewis's Charent pole data, hardly something you'd do if your teammate was completely lost. "Lewis brings perspectives none of us had considered," Leclerc acknowledged in a recent team interview. The dynamic developing between them is precisely what Ferrari needed, not competition, but collaboration. While Ralf Schumacher echoes Marko's pessimism, suggesting Hamilton might hang up his helmet before his contract ends, those who've worked closely with Lewis see a completely different picture. Jenson Button, who partnered with Hamilton at McLaren, recently provided crucial context. When Lewis joined Mercedes, everyone questioned his decision. He spent his first season building understanding, not chasing immediate results. This pattern repeats when he faces new challenges. Martin Brundle added during the Chinese GP broadcast, "Writing off Lewis Hamilton has consistently been the worst bet in Formula One. His approach has always been methodical. He builds foundations first, then extracts performance." The experts who truly understand Hamilton's methodology see this period very differently than Marko does. As we head into Miami this weekend, watch closely for subtle signs of progress rather than headline results. If Hamilton's historical pattern holds, we'll see incremental gains through the European season, followed by a breakthrough around mid-season. But here's what makes Marko's comments so revealing. Yes, Hamilton is indeed planning for 2026, not out of desperation, but strategic brilliance. He's using 2025 to comprehensively understand Ferrari's design philosophy, technical team dynamics, and operational approach. This knowledge becomes invaluable as development of the crucial 2026 car accelerates. Marko isn't wrong that Hamilton has his eye on 2026. He's just completely misunderstood the why. This isn't desperation, it's the long-term strategic thinking that's defined Hamilton's entire career. When Lewis connects all these dots, he won't just improve, he'll dominate. And Marko knows this. It's precisely why he's trying to create this narrative now. If you've watched this far, you clearly want more than the surface-level analysis everyone else provides. The real story with Hamilton at Ferrari isn't about struggles, it's about witnessing the methodical approach of one of sport's greatest strategists. Hit like if you believe Hamilton will prove Marko wrong before season's end. Comment below. Are Marko's comments calculated mind games, or has he genuinely misread Hamilton's approach? Subscribe for more analyses that see what others miss, because understanding the true story behind the headlines is what makes following this sport truly rewarding.